Hi, here I am. I'm back again. It's Flashback Friday. Okay, and I just have something else to talk about today. Guess what? Another album. This one is called "We Made It Happen." Okay. The song was written by a good friend, Paul Anka, who's written some great songs. And when he presented me with this song, I thought, I have to do this, and it has to be the title of my album, because when Paul wrote this song, and the lyric is it's so real, because we made it happen and watched it grow, put it together from just hello. What great lyrics and a great melody to go with it. So I made it into an album. I call "We Made It Happen." Plug, 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 plug. Of course, another a Decca magnificent record that they put out for me. The second one is called, the second track on here is called "My Wife the Dancer." I guess you remember that. You have to remember that, because that was in my show for years and years and years, and it gave me something. It was very theatrical, very theatrical. It gave me movement. It made me swivel the hips around and do things that I'm really not supposed to do, but I did it. I don't look that great as a dancer, but I did love performing that on stage. I did it with sometimes I did it with my girls on stage, and girl dancers, sometimes with my singers, and it was fun to record and fun to put on stage. That was a fun song, very useful in fact, because it came in handy for, it gave me movement on stage, and it was wonderful. The other one is called Something. Now, this one is written by George Harrison, and I want to tell you something. George didn't write a lot, or I never heard that he wrote a lot, but when he did write, magic, absolute magic. I mean, most everybody who heard something of any significance, singers in the world, they wanted to record it. That's a big plus, and that's a sign of a great, well-written song. And so we thank George Harrison for that wonderful song in our lifetime. Everybody's talking about me. I don't hear a word they're saying. I can't remember who wrote that now.
Fred Neil.
Fred Neil wrote that. Yes. I get prompted if I don't remember. I'm so lucky there are people around here who know more than I do about these songs. So I'm very happy. And Nielsen had the hit with it, I think. That's right? Mm-hmm. Nielsen had the hit with it. Not me, but I did put it on my album because I thought it was very good subject matter. And it played the right part in the album, when we were putting it together. And there's another one called "Love for Love." Love for love, da, da, da. An Italian melody again, and it's unbelievable. And the next song also is an Italian melody called "Just Say I Love Her." Just say I love her, I've loved her from the start, and tell her how I'm yearning, that it in my heart. See how I remember all these melodies, hundreds and hundreds of songs that I've recorded. And the next one, of course, that on this album was written by the genius man and a great musician, more by the great Stevie Wonder, Stevie Wonder. And of course, there again, a well-written song. Everybody wanted to record it, including moi. Hey, I didn't know I speak French, but I do speak other languages as well, but, like a little bit of German, a little bit of French, a little bit of Italian, a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Russian, a little bit of flies. Yeah. Sometimes they come to bother me over here. It's my cologne, Yeah. And here's a song, Leaving on a Jet Plane. I guess you all remember that, Peter, Paul and Mary. And And there again, everybody stepped on the bandwagon and started to record it, you know. And I remember the great part about this particular song, "Leaving on a Jet Plane." You know, when I was first starting in the industry and I had to fly a lot, and I was always on an airplane going to some country or going here, there, and everywhere. Where I lived in London, in St. George's Hill, where all the Beatles used to live, I think I told you about that in one of my Flashback Fridays. The planes used to fly over our house quite frequently, you know, and when my children were very young, especially with Scott when he was very young, you know, he was just a little tot, you know, and when he could barely say a few words, and a plane went overhead, he'd actually sing, "Leaving on a jet plane, Daddy, Daddy," you know, and that was quite, you know, little things that stick out in your mind about songs and about people and you know, things like that. Now here's a song that played a big part in my life too. Another Italian melody, "Love Me With All of Your Heart." Now, I sang this in my show right from the beginning, in the beginning of my career, over and over again. I sang it so much that I said, I've got to stop singing this song. But people were always requesting it. So, you know, and the arrangement was so good and so catchy, I just had to keep it in my show. And the amazing thing is, I just might put it back. You know, so it's time for it to maybe come back on the show again. A Burt Bacharach classic, you know. Raindrops keep falling on your head. Da, 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 da. Another one, a great song. Everybody jumped on that bandwagon and everybody recorded it, including me, you know. And I hope you like my rendition, because I particularly love my rendition of this one. I really do. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. The reason why we're sitting out here and doing these things is because the weather is permitting. The conditions are right. The sun is not in my eyes. There's a slight overcast thing, and the scenery is beautiful. When I look out there, you know, it's just that this panoramic scene of trees and clouds, and you know, it's but nothing else. I can't see anything else because I've got hedges and things that have grown higher. So it is nice out here, and that's the reason why we're doing this Flashback Friday out here, over here today. I might be doing another one in the same place, so if you see me in the same place, you know we did it on the same day, okay? Just a little prep so you understand where I'm coming from and everything. This is silly things. What the heck, you know? This next song was fun because the guy who recorded it was an actor and one of my favorite people in movies. You know, he made Great Cowboy, and he made great movies, Lee Marvin. And he had this voice that was born under a wandering star. I was born under a... And you know what? He had a number one. Number one with it. God bless him. You know what? He took his chances and it went to number one, but that was with his very low voice. It was quite fun to listen to. I think everybody used to sing it. Everybody sang it because it's easy to sing, and you know, every time you looked up and you saw a star in the sky, it brought the song back to your mind. You know, it's so people started to sing, "I was born under a one." It's quite fun. So that's my little thing about We Made It Happen album today, and there were some interesting little stories attached to it. I hope you loved them. And another Decca release, and I want to tell you something. It's a good album. Have a listen. See you next week.
I try to be the best I can and try to understand. Angel on my shoulder, the earth beneath my feet. I'm a lucky, lucky man.